The voice of sharing Durian ASEAN.
ASEAN Dailies. First and the foremost news from Southeast Asia.
Good morning, this is Arlene and you're listening to Durian ASEAN, the voice of discovery and sharing. Today's breaking news at our ASEAN Daily. Singapore Airlines plane collapses at Changi Airport. The nose gear of a Singapore Airlines plane retracted at Changi Airport Terminal 3, causing the plane to tilt forward. This happened yesterday morning on October 11, though no passengers or crew were on board at the Singapore Airline Airbus A330-300 when its nose gear retracted. In response to queries, Singapore Airline representatives said that the nose gear of the aircraft retracted while the aircraft was at gate A17 undergoing a landing gear system check at around 8 o'clock in the morning on Sunday morning. At the time of the incident, there were no passenger or crew on board, though an engineer was there at the craft. The engineer was not hurt. Investigations are still ongoing meanwhile. On the other hand, Malaysian Prime Minister vows to help Indonesia combat haze. Visiting Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak pledged on Sunday to help Indonesia fight forest fires blanketing Southeast Asia. The regional environmental crisis has caused flights and major events to be cancelled and forced tens of thousands of people in Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore to seek treatment and for respiratory problems. They consider the haze a serious issue and is a burden to Malaysians and Indonesians alike. This is what was being expressed by Prime Minister Najib Razak at the meeting. While on the other hand, Malaysia is definitely prepared to increase its assistance in reducing the fires. The areas affected are widespread, so certainly the challenges are very big. Jakarta has deployed about 25,000 personnel and aircraft, but the firefighters have been overwhelmed by the extent of the blazes. The Indonesian government for weeks insisted that it did not need international help before finally agreeing to accept the offers from several countries. Australia also offered aid to Indonesia to tackle forest fires. Foreign Minister Julie Bishop said that Australia has offered its L-100 aircraft from the New South Wales Fire Department to be used to tackle the disaster. The disaster has caused hazardous pollution in at least 6 provinces in the country of Indonesia and has caused more than 135,000 citizens to suffer from respiratory infections or ISPA. The fires keep burning due to the prolonged dry season in all parts of Indonesia. This is according to Julie in a press release on Saturday as quoted at tempo.co. She added that Australians were currently facing the threat of bushfire as well. They wanted to aid their neighbouring countries to show Australia's solidarity. At least 5 countries have offered their assistance to tackle the fires in Sumatra and Kalimantan. These are Australia, Malaysia, Singapore, China, and Russia. From haze to terrorism, do you know that KL terrorist rehab is a model for ASEAN, or at least it is considered so? Malaysia says its terrorist rehabilitation program will be the benchmark for ASEAN to help contain the spreading regional network of Islamist militants. Malaysia's de-radicalization program will be the benchmark in the SOP for rehabilitation, according to Deputy Prime Minister Ahmad Zahid Hamidi. Based on data from the Prisons Department, Islamic Development Department, and Home Ministry that their success rate is 95%. Only 5% require follow-up efforts because they are hardcore extremists. And on the other hand, that Indonesia, Thailand, and the Philippines joined host nation yesterday in outlining strategies to curb terror activities. Muslim majority Malaysia's physical and financial infrastructure makes it a prime transit point for radical Islamists. Authorities here have already acknowledged it as well. Moving from Malaysia to Myanmar. As we all know, Myanmar is preparing for its election in November. Myanmar election that has made EU deployed observers for the first time. A total of 150 observers from 28 EU member states, such as Norway and Switzerland, will be deployed across the country to observe the November 8 election. One group of foreign observers is the European Union team, who will be in Myanmar for more than a month. For polling day, a total of 150 observers from 28 EU member states, such as Norway and Switzerland, will have fanned out across the country. The observers will be following the work of the election commissions to see if they are prepared for the election, the training of the election polling officials. Then they will be following the election campaign to meet with political parties to see how the campaign is going. This is according to European Union Election Observation Mission Deputy Chief Observer Mark Stevens. They will also be following the messages of the campaign. They will be following if the political parties have freedom of assembly, freedom of movement, freedom of expression, elements such as this, of course. However, the monitors will not interfere with the process. International observers are impartial in the process. According to Mr. Stevens, the election is for the people of Myanmar. All the best for the Myanmar people and the Myanmar government in organizing the first Myanmar elections since the 1990s. Moving on from Myanmar to Singapore, 3D map of Singapore to improve municipal services. How cool is that? Culture, Communication and Youth Minister Grace Fu, who heads the Municipal Services Office, said that such use of technology would improve collaboration among government bodies. The authorities are hoping to create a 3D map of Singapore that is arguably more comprehensive than Google Earth. Wow. Within the next 2 years, of course. This is a part of efforts to better solve everyday issues using technology and improve municipal services. The first phase of the project is to map the island using aerial shots. It's almost completed, by the way, announced by the Singapore Land Authority on Thursday last week. The map includes creating 3D terrain and road models to allow authorities to analyze infrastructure without being present. There's also a geotagging, or adding location details to an image or video. This way, authorities can pinpoint the exact location where an incident occurred based on residents' feedback. We will take a short break. When we return, we'll discuss further on the economic side of Southeast Asia.
ASEAN Dailies. First and the foremost news from Southeast Asia.
Welcome back. This is Arlene and you're listening to Durian ASEAN. While some expats are working in Singapore, do you know that they are sending their kids to study across the Causeway? Given the current exchange rates between the Malaysian ringgit and Singapore dollar, Johor continues to be an attractive destination for shoppers from Singapore. But the thing is, it's also becoming a destination for expats to work in Singapore with housing options and international schools being part of the draw. Based on current exchange rates, enrolling children aged 7 to 18 at the 90-acre college could cost between 23,000 to 24,000 Sing dollar, and you have to times that with 3 if you want to convert that to the Malaysian ringgit. This could be 10% less or maybe even cheaper than schools offering similar program in Singapore. Right now, the ringgit is lower, or obviously it is less costly for us now. But you go there because of facilities and standards. When you go and look at international schools in Singapore, they are concrete blocks. Many have no fields. There are hardly any facilities compared to what Marlborough College have offered. If they are going to move across the world, they definitely want their kids to have an experience, to be able to have fields, running tracks, courts, to enjoy schools. Mr. David Bolsher, a Canadian, is one such parent. He lives in Johor but works in Singapore. It's such a personal decision. Some parents want to first make sure that the kids thrive at school. It's a big commitment that you move houses from one country to the next. Definitely. Seems like Johor has become the hub for education among expats working in Singapore, which is a great thing for the Johor's economy and educational hub. Moving on to Brunei and Indonesia. Brunei and Indonesia needs to improve connectivity. Both countries are neighbors in ASEAN, but improve relations towards the realization of the ASEAN Economic Community at the end of 2015 is definitely important. This is according to Dr. Pribadi Suntiono, Deputy Chief of Mission at the Indonesia's Embassy in Brunei. Connectivity between the two countries must be improved. One aspect of connectivity is definitely transportation. With the existence of effective maritime, air and land transport system in place between the two countries, is definitely something that needs to be looked thoroughly. Connectivity at the area of information and communication technology is equally crucial. They are hoping that when the ASEAN economies are integrated, trade relations among each member country will be improved. The week's round-table discussion with the Brunei business community was held to strengthen bilateral economic relations with Indonesia's counterparts. Moving on to the CLMV countries, focusing on Laos. Laos economic zone proves to be major job generators. 65 companies from Laos and foreign countries, including Thailand and the Savan Sino Special Economic Zone, have created over 4,500 jobs for the local people. According to Tong Se Sayavong Kadi, a senior official from the Savanakhet Provincial Authority, from now until 2020, both local and overseas companies are expected to hire another 15,000 locals. According to Tongse, the foreign companies registered at the zone come from Canada, the Netherlands, France, Japan, and the Republic of Korea, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Thailand, and Laos. He said that many of these foreign companies still want to hire more Lao employees. The Savancino Special Economic Zones was established in 2003. Special and specific economic zones have become the main driver of growth in the industrial and service sectors in Laos, laying the foundation for diversifying the nation's economy into the future. The development of this zone is part of the Lao government's policy to boost economic growth and generate job opportunities for local people through modernization and industrialization. Lao currently have 11 such zones, including the Tat Luang Marsh Special Economic Zone in Vientiane. We'll take a short break. When we return, we'll discuss on the arts and culture side of Southeast Asia.
ASEAN Dailies. First and the foremost news from Southeast Asia.
Welcome back. This is Arlene and you are listening to Durian ASEAN. Of course, talking about arts and culture, Korean students are definitely eyeing Southeast Asia. They are learning diverse ASEAN culture. The ASEAN Korea Center launched an educational program to promote diverse ASEAN cultures among Korean students at Bitguil Citizen Cultural Center. The program consisted of an introductory video about ASEAN, a quiz, and a series of ASEAN cultural experience booth at the featured of a food zone, traditional costume zone, music instrument zone, and photo zone. In the ASEAN talk show, the students and the diplomats discuss such topics as ASEAN-Korea relation, the socio-cultural of ASEAN, and the career path of diplomats. The ASEAN School Tour program began in 2009, designed to help Korean younger generation to appreciate the diversity of ASEAN as a close neighbor and important partner to Korea. On the other hand, Laos is facing the unknown as elephants walk from logging into tourism. Walking down any street in Luang Prabang, Laos, you will be presented with any number of opportunities to interact with elephants. Some are more ethical than others, of course. At the elephant village, 15 kilometers outside of the town, the motto is "Saving elephants is our mission." The organization has 14 animals in total, 11 of which are available for tours. All have been purchased or leased, except for 2 babies, as a means of release for them from the servitude of the logging industry. The tourists spend their money accordingly. Their full-day mahout course saw them learning to climb, ride, and direct the elephants. They enjoy a 3-kilometer walk through the Nam Khan River and a nearby village, and later help to wash the elephants in the river. But Diana Alderman from travel blog D Travels Around said that the use of elephants in tourism is a complicated issue, though. It's important to keep in mind that even if the animal is rescued, if it is continuing to work and be exploited, it isn't being kept at a sanctuary at all. Anyway, thanks for listening to us, and don't forget to continue listen to us via our podcast at our YouTube channel. And of course, go to our website at durianasian.com, or you can listen on the go at Durian ASEAN's mobile app. And don't forget to connect with us via our social media, our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thank you.